Madridistas, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, let's talk about the three matches at the Euro yesterday. This tournament is getting more interesting by the minute. This is going to be a short video. Just want to give you my thoughts on sort of the three matches that were all a little bit crazy in their own way. And of course, we'll talk about Lunin and Mbappe, who had rather unfortunate evenings. But let me give you my thoughts on these matches. Like I say, things are heating up. It's getting kind of interesting. But let's talk about the Euro very briefly. Let's get started. Madridistas, welcome back. Okay, let's talk about these three matches. So let's start with Belgium, Slovakia. I don't know if you guys watched this, but what a crazy match. So basically, the first few minutes, you kind of looked like what you expected. Belgium comes out with a lot of confidence, moving the ball well. They look like the better side technically, etc. And then, Doku makes a really silly mistake, and just the entire match sort of changes on a dime. And it's funny because, in a previous video, I had said that I thought, Belgium is going to play a bit more relaxed now because this is the tail end of the golden generation. I don't think there's as much pressure on them. But when I said play relaxed, I didn't mean this. I mean, this was a really silly mistake. In the first few minutes, Doku had a couple of really, really wonderful plays, and he was really the star of the match. I mean, he looked amazing. But then the mistake he made was just so, this is like, schoolyard stuff, right? And, we've criticized Ceballos in the course of the season at Real Madrid last season because he's made mistakes like this. You do not play around in that part of the pitch. But now what was, obviously a mistake. Slovakia took advantage of it very clinically. And then what's interesting to mention, I think, in this match, because Belgium spent the whole match trying to just slow the tempo down and normalize it. Just turn it into a normal match where they could enjoy possession and let their better sort of skill come out. Well, Slovakia wouldn't let them. I was watching this and I was joking with friends. I'm like, what did these guys eat for breakfast? Slovakia played with so much energy. They were pressing everywhere. It's ridiculous. They were pressing every single ball. They were pressing like it's sort of the last 3 minutes and you're down by two. The level of energy was incredible, and I didn't think that they could sustain it for the entirety of the match, but they did. It was incredible. Another thing is, I found Slovakia played with just such audacity. It was borderline, it was kind of something between brilliant and completely insane and suicidal. They insisted on bringing the ball out the back, with these very quick passing. They could be surrounded by Belgian for it didn't matter. They would just try to play the ball out with very quick kind of give and goes. And I thought, if you pull it off, it looks beautiful. And it puts you in a great position in the midfield, to attack. Obviously, if you can bring the ball out effectively, quickly, it makes your attack all the better. But it's very dangerous. But they would sort of do it over and over. It also sends a message. If you can bring the ball out the back consistently, I think it sends a message to your opponent that you're very confident, that you're very good on the ball, and that you're not scared and you're in control. But Slovakia was doing this over and over. I thought it was a combination of, sometimes I thought this is just brilliant play, and other times I thought these guys are completely insane. But look, at the end of the day, they played a very high energy match in all areas of the pitch. Didn't create too many chances outside of the goal, but Belgium. I have to say, look, Belgium probably deserved more. I think, in fairness, they did create other chances that were missed. And we have to talk about Lukaku because, this guy, he has a track record. I've seen him miss whoppers for years now. Sometimes he's a great striker, but he sometimes misses things that are just completely inexplicable. I don't know if you guys remember the final against Man City, at Inter, about just over a year ago. He missed some just whoppers, and again yesterday, missing some chances that you really cannot miss those. And then of course the ones he scores, there's either an offside or a handball or something. So look, I think Belgium overall deserved more. They were sort of technically the better side, but I think the type of performance that Slovakia, with that kind of energy and intensity, I think they would have disrupted anybody. So anyway, a very, very interesting match. Definitely the big surprise of the tournament so far. Okay, let's move on to the Romania-Ukraine match. Now, this is again another really big surprise. I had Ukraine talk about eating humble pie. I mean, one of my dark horses. I mentioned Hungary and Ukraine in one of my previous videos. I had Ukraine down as, and not just me. I mean, a lot of people in the press, that Ukraine is a team to watch out for. They have a lot of skill and potentially could be very dangerous. Look what happened. They got absolutely decimated. Romania played just, they had a very simple tactical, thought in mind, but they implemented it the entire match. They were sort of steal the ball, very, very aggressive in every respect, push the ball forward vertically very aggressively. If you have a chance, shoot very aggressively. Just played with a lot of intensity, but a lot of clarity of thought. Ukraine, they did sort of, I found them slower. I think that there was a difference physically in the level of intensity of the two sides. And I think that Ukraine, after a while, were just shell-shocked because, the first goal, by the way, we have to talk about, Lunin. Look, the first goal, Lunin makes a mistake. He sort of, plays the ball out with his feet towards the left side. Terrible ball, ends up in the foot of a Romanian player, and that's where the first goal derives. It was an incredible strike, absolutely a nuclear missile that nobody could stop, but that outlet ball is what created that goal. So terrible mistake. But again, Romania was able to take advantage of the chances that they had and really make Ukraine pay for their mistakes. The second goal, I think Lunin. I don't want to be unfair. Sometimes you do have the impression that he could have done a little more. Now the ball was quite adjusted to the post. It was sort of a low, fast ball, and he didn't quite reach it. But you're kind of left with the feeling that maybe he could have done more. So, listen, that very, very shocking. Romania again, critical in their finishing, very vertical, very intense. I don't know if they can replicate that throughout the tournament. But again, Lunin, talk about casting shadows. I mean, if he had done something like this in the Champions League final, I mean, we would have all jumped out, my balcony. So I think that you can kind of, understand Ancelotti's decision in the Champions League final all the more so now. I mean, we know Courtois is better, and it made sense to have him start. But I think these are the type of things that Ancelotti probably saw in practice that we don't see. That probably also contributed to him playing Courtois in the final. So Lunin, unfortunate. These are the kind of mistakes. Unfortunately, when you play that position, people are just going to remember every single mistake because every mistake you make is going to be a goal for the opposition. Okay, now France, Austria. This was again crazy in a different way. These guys. Okay, this match was being played as if it were the last match on earth in terms of aggressiveness. Not even, I was going to say like a final, but not even that, because finals tend to be quite cagey. Both sides tend to, you can't make a mistake. So they tend to be quite cagey and sometimes slow. This was just a street brawl. I mean, this was so aggressive, and Austria brought a level of intensity that I think France had to try to keep up with. And again, Austria had a great way of just short-circuiting the entire match. I mean, they would not allow France to settle into any pattern, would not allow the game to slow down. They were just very aggressive anytime they stole the ball. They were very aggressive pressing, very aggressive defensively. It was just, they really came out to play. And I think France had a very, very difficult time handling this. France missed a few chances. I mean, Kylian missed a chance that I thought, oh my God, you better not do this at the Bernabeu, or you're going to hear it. It was kind of surprising to see France miss that type of chances. There weren't too many, but they were very clear. And then Austria just fought tooth and nail. I mean, I think if you're France, you're very happy with the result. They were definitely waiting for the clock. They wanted that whistle towards the end, and even Mbappe was trying, sort of wasting time towards the end. Now, obviously, the story of that match, in addition to the raw brutality of the aggressiveness of that match, Kylian, obviously, his nose probably broken. I'm hearing that he's not going to need an operation. They're already working on a mask for him. But this is the kind of thing that you don't really know you kind of don't know what the ultimate repercussions will be, because these things, they're uncomfortable. They take a while to heal. Initially, there's a lot of swelling. Sometimes even your visibility is impaired either by the swelling or the mask. So it is certainly going to have an impact. I don't know if he'll be able to participate in the rest of the tournament. But again, you don't know how long these things will take to recover. So people in Madrid are concerned about that. His presentation was going to be on July 16th. I don't know if they're going to postpone it, but I mean, to present a player with a mask, I mean, it's just not the same. But anyway, very unfortunate news for Kylian. I thought he handled the pain quite well. He seemed pretty stoic about it, but we'll have to see how bad the repercussions are. Okay, tonight we've got Arda. We're going to watch our beloved Arda and Cristiano. So we've got the heroes of the past, and we get to watch the heroes of the future. So Turkey played Georgia. And Portugal play the Czech Republic, so that'll be really interesting. Look, I'll give you my thoughts on those as well tomorrow, but I just want to give you guys my quick thoughts on the matches yesterday. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Going to keep it brief, but I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, a la Madrid.